Hey there, it's Tracy with Record Fuel. Thanks for tuning in. We're going to do a review on going out and seeing Elvis Costello. This would have been the 5th time that I've seen Elvis Costello in concert, and he's a tremendous artist. As you can tell, I've got a lot of his vinyl records. Just love his catalog and all the work that he's done. To me, there's really not a bad record in his bunch of it. So this concert was at the Uptown Theater here in Kansas City, and I've seen him at the Uptown Theater a couple of other times, once at the Crossroads and I think once at the Midland Theater also. But this was billed as Elvis Costello in The Imposters with Charlie Sexton. So I was excited to see Charlie Sexton because I thought he was going to be opening the show for Elvis Costello. If you're not familiar with Charlie Sexton, he was in the band Archangels with the rhythm section from Stevie Ray Vaughan. So they had a really good album in the 90s that was, again, titled Archangels. Charlie Sexton's had a solo career also, but I really didn't know a lot from his solo career. So I was excited to see him and wanted to check that out, so it was kind of a bonus. But then when we got there, it was, I guess it was billed as with Charlie Sexton. And so he was actually in the band. There was no opening band. So, but let me show you some of the albums that I have, and I'll show you what was the most liked album by me of his collection. This is the first album that I bought of Elvis Costello. It was 1978. So, yeah, this year's model. But I've got quite a few of his albums. I've picked them up through the years and then kind of repurchased them. You know, would have had something. And then just finally I said, I'm going to just have a nice collection by Elvis Costello. I got this one here at Guest Room Records. I believe Oklahoma is where Guest Room Records is. Showed up, Uptown Theater venue, holds about, I guess, 2,000, 2,500 seats. It's a relatively small theater. Again, I've seen Elvis Costello there before. Picked this one up in Breakaway Records in Texas. So it was them. They opened it up, and it was about, I think they played almost 2 hours long. It was like 1:45, 2 hours long, which is pretty normal for a concert nowadays. So the length of it was fine. I was really anticipating seeing him because I'd seen him before, and he's always puts on a good show. This is my favorite album by Elvis Costello. I think I wound up picking it up on eBay for about $4 or $5, and I think the shipping was like more than what the album cost. But it's just a terrific album. It's translucent blue, and it's just a great bluesy jazz album. It's just great. So if you get a chance, check this one out. Probably won't be able to pick it up as cheap as I got really lucky at that time. As you can tell, say that translucent blue, got his cool label on there of him. But they played about what would be normal for a concert now, and there was no opening band. Charlie Sexton was actually in the band, so it was the Imposters and Charlie Sexton. He was playing guitar, and we didn't really anticipated it. I was looking forward to it because I'd seen him at this place before, but I would say that something just didn't feel right. It just wasn't a show that, and we got the best of Elvis Costello, which if you don't really know Elvis Costello, you're missing out. I mean, these songs like this, Allison, Watching the Detectives, What's So Funny About Peace, Love, and Understanding, Pump It Up, Accidents Will Happen, Radio, of course, I Can't Stand Up for Falling Down, you know, Clubland, Shipbuilding, Every Day I Write the Book, and The Only Flame in Town. Just so much good music by Elvis Costello. So they came out, hit the stage, and I felt like uncharacteristic for Elvis Costello it just was a bunch of F-bombs to begin the show with, which this was the 5th time that I've seen him, and I really don't recall ever hearing, cuss words like that. And it wasn't at band members, it wasn't, it was just kind of in general. So I don't know what exactly was going on. It wasn't completely negative, but I said, and I wasn't offended, but it just seemed out of character for, him from when I've seen him in concert before. Usually he's been, just comes out, plays the music, and then interacts with the crowd quite lively and, has a really good time. It just seemed a little odd. So I would say also that the music, it seemed like they didn't hit their stride or their mark on even the hits that they played until 3/4 the way through the song. So they just seemed off, or the tempo wasn't really right. And I know playing live can be, a little off, and it's not going to be just like the record most of the time, right? So that's okay also, but it just seemed a little off. And then I guess I would compare it to at times that when you hear an orchestra and they're warming up and nobody's in sync, and then they start playing, that's kind of what it felt like. So it kind of seemed just off, The crowd loved them, though. I mean, I would say this, and that doesn't mean that it was a bad show. It just wasn't up to what I had seen him the previous 4 times. It just didn't hit the mark like it did previously, and I would say it wasn't because of the venue, because I've seen him there before. I'd say I didn't feel like it was because of me, because I was ready for a great evening. I don't feel like I over-anticipated what the show was going to be like, because I love his music. It doesn't really matter what it is. And I mean, he did play some obscure songs that, I'd never heard of before, some cover songs, but I mean, that's okay. Usually, even with a good musician and, somebody is his caliber of artists, that it's just hearing them play is great. And it just didn't feel up to the standards for whatever reason. So maybe the band just hasn't played together long enough. But he did play a couple of songs, just sat down on the piano himself and played the piano and sung, which was truly amazing. I was really glad to hear that. That was probably the highlight of the night for me. I mean, he did rounded out the show with some of his, really big hits. But they did have a special at the merch shop. They got a little merch deal there at the Uptown Theater when you walk right in. It's, again, a small theater, and I felt like it wasn't because of the tickets. I've seen them at this place before, as far as the show, but they had a buy one get one free. So it was $40, and you bought one of these shirts, you got a second one free, which is, $20 a shirt at a concert is absolutely great. So as you can tell, had that, and then the 7-on-7 with the dates on the back. Then they had this one here. So I'm not sure why they were, buy one get one free. Seemed a little bit. I don't see any reason on the shirt itself that there is why there would be a discount, but maybe they overproduced them or something. But I was glad to pick up buy one get one free. That was a really great deal. So hey, thank you so much for tuning in. It's Tracy with Record Fuel. Make sure to like and subscribe. Leave comments below. Stay tuned. Right after this is going to be highlights from the show. So tell me what you think. And again, thanks for tuning in. It's Tracy. Thank you.
eyes and nose and then punch on your face. Records recorded in the early 1960s, and these people now they decided that, you know, there was those things where there would be a gimmick on a record that would make it a hit, make it irresistible and unforgettable, or once you'd heard it you wish you'd never heard it, that kind of Kansas records. I don't know. Did I say that out loud? That's just my taste. I feel the same way about Pink Floyd. So this is where we came to hide. We ran from you, and I probably did the whole coat. Dirty dead shoes, do pretty things at night. That time, 'cause I don't know